Okay, hello and welcome, Priya. I'm very excited to welcome you to my first podcast of what should be four, I believe. Um, Today, we're talking about Module One, which was the focusing on eco theater and eco performance. This is a topic that I'm very excited for to look at through our semester because I believe as a historian that a relationship with nature is one of those things that has always subconsciously and consciously impacted the decisions culturally, systematically, just the decisions that we make as a species. I'm a firm believer often comes from our relationship with nature, which we talked about quite a bit about. I come from a country that our relationship with nature is sacred, and a lot of the stories that we have been told through our culture, through time, through our beliefs even are personified elements of nature and etc. And it's a very exciting element to discuss. So talking about just jumping into eco theater. Eco theater is something that I didn't know had a name. I didn't know that there was like a set like this is eco theater, and I didn't know that it like started up in the 40s and 50s. I've always seen eco theater and as like honestly mythology. Like mythology to me is eco theater because it's the stories that we created as humans to try and give answer to the so many complex things that we don't understand. Like I think of the way uh, that 15 Dogs used animals in their production. I think we've used animals through time in both this way and many different ways to establish our relationship with nature. Many religions. I think of Noah's Ark. How it's very much it's a story that is about human sin, et cetera, et cetera. But is connected with almost inherently, the two by two creatures that were called by Noah's hand being the true shepherd of nature. And Christianity has always had this. And when I was growing up, I was taught in a Catholic school that it we are very much the shepherds of our world, that we are our God's guide, and that we will bring and take care of his animals and his mountains, his seas. And I think it's very interesting that looking at 15 Dogs and looking at other pieces of popular literature that has talked about nature, Wally, the Lorax, stuff like this, many myths. It's almost like we can see that it's the other way around. Really, it is animals and nature that guides us, guides our decisions. In 15 Dogs, we see what happens when those dogs truly come to their consciousness. It's different for everyone. Everyone sort of has a different reaction to it. Some is a reaction of superiority, some is a reaction of, I wish this never happened. I wish I could live my life in simplicity. I wish I could go back to simply being an animal, but now that I've been woken up to this world that we live in, I realize that I have to do better. And the dogs, they realize that either they control or that they have to do better with what they've been given. This new opportunity that the gods have quite literally forced upon them. Do they take it and run with it, or does it destroy them? And we see that it very much does go back and forth. And I think that that is something very similar to where we're at with nature in real life. Many of us are in this place where we're trying to come to terms with the true depth of mistakes that we and our ancestors have made, that the true depths of the fact that it really is our fault. We did fuck it up. And that was something in my relationship with nature that I really couldn't come to terms with for a long time. That I was angry that I was basically this parasite that was living off the land. And I think studying eco theater there is a little bit of that aspect of it is theater to acknowledge this growing issue that we need to address, but it also sometimes comes off as theater that is almost people wiping their consciences clear, almost people acknowledging the the break that we have, this horrible hierarchy that we have of humanity controlling and destroying nature. It almost feels like some of these examples of eco theater are people who are writing these pieces, yes, to bring fame to them and bring eyes to them, but also there's a lot of division in it, and you can see a lot of the plays are people, certain people's blaming certain people's. And you know, when we talk about nature, I was talking about 15 Dogs and eco theater with my mom and my parents, and you know, the first thing they said were, well, it's greatly Asia's fault because it was Asia that's you know, doing most of the pollution, and I think this topic of our world is just, it's something that divides inherently because we all have our own relationship and understanding of the world, and we're all sort of going through our own mourning process of how to make up for our mistakes that we have committed to the world, and some of us just completely ignoring it and pretending like it's not real, and trying to live in that ignorance. And I think eco theater is very much for some people trying to let go of their mistakes, and for some people trying to bring eyes to these mistakes that we're making. um yeah, and just to end it off, with, because one of the main ways, one of the main messages of 15 Dogs was, well, how do we stage our relationship with animals? And I was thinking about this, and I think one of the ways that we do this is through masks. One of the most prominent ways that we've established and shown the personified ideas and emotions of animals is through mask work. If you look at really old Greek theater, I'm talking Greek theater, before they were called Greeks, back when they were Hellenic. Most of their pieces were these complex animalistic masks of almost all of the of different qualities from different animals that we as humans have personified human emotions and beliefs to. We would take those individual things, the horns of a ram, the tentacles of an octopus, the bug eyes of a spider, and we mix it all into one mask and create our own creature. And we were often doing this to represent things that were beyond our comprehension, showing that for a long time we've understood that animals are there our relationship with them is different. And I believe that we've known for a long time that it is not inferior or superior, but different. They're not put on this earth for our whim, nor were we put on this earth to control their every move. I think eco theater greatly to me is showing that our relationship with nature has changed. But it also hasn't. That there are those underlying beliefs that we all still have, those almost childish pull to better understanding the creatures that we live with, and why we put so much inherent importance on them in so much pop culture, but so much history too. So much mythology, so much religion, so much culture is based around animals and our beliefs behind them. And like the qualities that we think they represent, owls being wise, badgers being timid, lions being brave. These are qualities that we all inherently know as a people worldwide. Yeah, owls means wisdom, foxes means sly, cunning. But these are just qualities, human qualities that we've placed upon creatures that are just surviving. And I think that seeing how that's changed and seeing how that's grown into gods and monsters and, cyclopes and hecatoncheires, and all these things are just qualities of animals that we've pieced together, because our understanding of this world has been pieced together by our surroundings, by our mountains, our oceans, our birds, our bugs. Our stories, the greatest ones of all time, we're all from the same place. The thing that we all have around us, the only thing that we truly have a grasp at and with, our home. But anyways, that's my belief. So I hope you enjoyed this rumble. I'm hoping to not make as many of them long. This was sort of my first go at trying to understand this process, so I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to see if you also believe that culture and everything all derived from this inherent need for humans to understand the environment they live in. Because I truly believe that religion, myth, stories, they all came from this one subconscious question that we all ask ourselves. What is this environment around us, and why are we so lucky to be the only thing in the position that we're at that seems to have the same amount of both understanding and control of their environment? So I'm fascinated to see your point of view and hear your point of view. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much, Priya.